Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe. I am currently pregnant with baby boy, and I also have a 2-year-old daughter. So if you're into pregnancy related content, make sure you do press that subscribe button. Or if you're into motherhood, day in the life vlogs, I film those too. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the 30 to 34 week pregnancy update.
Every change has a reason, baby, let it come to you.
A few things. I'm sitting on a birthing ball right now just to help out my hips and pelvis. The couch and the bed are not comfortable, so this ball is like my best friend. I got it from Target for I think like $15 or $16, so definitely worth it. Also, I just put my daughter down for a nap. She decides she's having a full-blown conversation and singing and kicking and having a live concert right now. So she's not screaming like in pain or anything. She just is doing her own thing, so I'm patiently waiting for her to fall asleep. But I wanted to get this video going, so if you hear her in the background, that is what she is doing. She's having the time of her life, and then she will be falling asleep. So we're gonna talk about weeks 30 to 34. So the biggest thing that happened with weeks 30 through 34 is that I got COVID at 31 weeks. I actually got it the last day I was 31 weeks going into 32 weeks. And it was really rough. So basically what happened was it was like a Tuesday and Turner came home from work. He said he's been tired. He didn't really feel well. And I said I didn't really feel well either, but I'm pregnant, so I don't feel well all the time. Like, just always tired. Sometimes I have a headache and, you know, my body just hurts. So, but with Turner having like body aches and not feeling well, you know, he thought he was coming down with like a cold or sinuses because the weather's been changing and allergies and everything like that. So we go through the drive-thru and we go to Tropical Smoothie because I was like, let's just get a smoothie, you know, I don't know, let's do something easy for dinner instead of like cooking and, you know, getting junk. So we just decided to get a smoothie. So he got a smoothie, I got a smoothie, I also got a chicken quesadilla. Well, we came home, he drank like a couple sips of a smoothie, but he just wasn't feeling good. He just wanted to go to bed. And I drank like more than half of my smoothie. I was like, wow, the smoothie tastes really good. That was fine. I ate a couple bites of my chicken quesadilla and then it didn't really taste that good, so I ended up throwing it out. And then Everly, I don't know, we made her something else for dinner. So everybody was fine. Well, that night, I think I got food poisoning or something from it, but I was throwing up. I was having like diarrhea. I was hot, I was cold, I had to take a bath. Like, I filled up the bath with hot water at one point, I filled up the bath with cold water at one point. Like, my body was just like going through it. And in the meantime, Turner's asleep. Like, all of this was in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. like all night long. I was sweating, I was shivering. Like, I even made Turner get off the bed because he was so hot. I was like, I am about to die. So he like slept on the floor at one point. I just could not like get comfortable. I didn't know what was going on with my body. I tried to drink water. Every time I drank water, I threw it up. I came downstairs at night and got like a piece of bread because I felt so hungry. I threw that up. Like, I just don't know what was going on with my body. And the next morning at 5 a.m., Turner had to go to Charleston. And I was doing this all night up until 5 a.m., like when his alarm went off. Like, when his alarm went off, I was like, you cannot go to Charleston today. I don't know what is wrong with me, but all night I've been, like, he woke up every now and then to check on me, but I was up for so long, not feeling good, and I was like, you cannot leave me. Like, especially taking care of Everly by myself. I do not feel good. I don't know what's wrong with me. We need to go to the emergency room. So by this point, it's like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, you know, Everly just woke up. I was like, let's just make her breakfast. I'm still like not feeling well. I was like, let's just make her breakfast. After she eats breakfast, just drive me to the emergency room. I don't know what's wrong with me. I like need fluids. Like, I feel like everything is spinning. I don't know what's going on with my body, but something's like happening. So he drives me to the emergency room, and we had Everly in the car, so he couldn't go with me in the ER. So he literally just drops me off at the curb, and I walk in by myself. Like, I don't even remember walking in because I was so dizzy. I was so dehydrated. I just like did not feel like myself. I don't know, like it felt like somebody drugged me or something. Like, I don't know what was going on. Like, my body was just so weak. So apparently I check into the emergency room. They take me to triage, like for moms and stuff, and they put the baby monitors on me. Baby is fine, everything like that, but I clearly wasn't. They took my blood pressure, and it was so low. I think it was 58/48 or 48/38. It was so low. They asked me if I normally have like low blood pressure, like not that low, but like generally do I have low blood pressure? And I said no, I usually have normal to even high blood pressure. Like when I was pregnant with my daughter, I had high blood pressure. So I was like, no, this is not normal. They were like, get her bag of fluids ASAP. So they put like an IV right here, and it didn't work because like I don't know, my body was just so weak that like nothing was working. So they put it here, it didn't work. I got a bruise from it. So they ended up putting it here, and I ended up having 4 bags of fluid, like so quick. And as soon as I got the fluids in, like I felt my body like come back to life. Like I just felt like myself. Like I still felt sick. Like I still felt like I was gonna throw up. I still felt like my stomach was hurting so bad. But like I could feel myself come back because like I was like I said, the room was spinning and I was not feeling good. So she asked me if I ever had COVID before. I said no. She asked me if I have been around anyone who has COVID recently. I said no. She asked me if I've been tested for COVID. I said no. Like I'm a stay-at-home mom. We don't really go anywhere. Sometimes we go to Hobby Lobby, TJ Maxx, like, you know, the grocery store. But for the most part, we're home. Sometimes we do stuff on the weekends. But like me and my daughter are home. She doesn't go to daycare. Like we're not really around anybody. So no, I've never been tested and I've never had COVID. So she said, we're gonna test you for the COVID and the flu. So I was like, okay. So she ends up swabbing my nose to test me for COVID and the flu. And like I said, I've never had this test done before. And I legit tell you that she went to my brain. I was like grabbing her hand to pull out her like hand from going so high. And then she did this side and she did this side. And then she gave me a mask to wear. Like it's like a really tight mask. She's like, hey, you have to wear this mask because we don't know if you have COVID or not. So I was like, okay. So I'm like trying to get these fluids in. They're giving me anti-nausea medicine. They're giving me pain medicine. I have this tight mask on. I just got tested for COVID and the flu. And I'm just sitting there like, I think I just got food poisoning. Like, or I don't know what's like wrong with me, but I ate tropical smoothie and like, this is what happened. Like, I don't really know, right? So I got tested. 30 minutes later, she comes in and she says, Lindsey, you tested positive for COVID. And I like look at her and I'm like, this is a joke because like, I just don't go anywhere. Like it was really hard to believe that I had COVID. So she was like, you know, like what about my fiance and my baby? Like, my toddler, you know, they might want to get tested. They might want to quarantine because you have it and stuff. So I'm like panicking, like, oh my gosh, like I don't, like this is ridiculous, but okay. So she immediately was like, okay, well after you're done with your fluids, like go ahead and go home. So she sends me home. I tell Turner to come pick me up on the curb. So I walk outside and I tell him, and we have like these little at-home tests that like we've used a few times. Like he's used a few times, but I've never tested for COVID before. So I come home and I tell him, so he immediately tests himself, and that second line pops up like so quick, like quicker than the first line. So he's definitely positive. So somehow, I guess I got it from him, who he got it from somebody else because he goes to work and he's around people, because he's around more people than me, but he's been around the same people at his job for years. So like it's just kind of random, and nobody's tested positive for COVID there. So it's just kind of like random. So I don't know where we got COVID from. I don't know the source because we always go to the same places like Costco and Hobby Lobby and you know, just our normal grocery store, Publix, like, you know, we haven't been around anybody new. We did go down to Florida, but that was 3 weeks prior. We went down to Tampa and to Jacksonville. So unless we got it from there and it just like hid in our body for 3 weeks and didn't give us a single symptom until that day, I don't really know. I don't know if I got it from tropical smoothie. Like, I legit don't know. So moving on, we had COVID the rest of the week. Turner and I both tested positive again, so he was out another week another week off of work. I cannot talk. So he was off for that week, off another week, and then we tested negative and he's back to work. But I had it really bad. I had a lot of sinus issues. My nose kept running and running and running and running, like it would not stop. I was constantly blowing my nose, constantly taking like steamy hot showers, because that's the only thing that felt good. Taking warm baths helped, sleeping helped, but also like getting up and trying to do a few things a day helped. But also, like, I'm in my 3rd trimester, I'm super pregnant, I'm super uncomfortable anyway, so having COVID just really threw me in for a loop. Turner's symptoms weren't bad at all. And my daughter, Everly, we never tested her, anything like that. All she had was a little bit of a runny nose, which she's had before, and a cold. But we all didn't go anywhere. We stayed at our house for like legit 2 weeks until we were negative. And yeah, that is what happened. But definitely getting COVID when you're in your 3rd trimester is really scary, because I haven't really been sick this pregnancy. So, you know, especially with COVID, like, I never thought I would get COVID, because I don't go anywhere and I don't do anything. So it was just kind of weird to hear and to experience. But yeah, that is what happened during my weeks 30 to 34. I got diagnosed with COVID, and who knows like how I got it and everything like that. So moving on from the whole COVID talk, I went to my 34-week appointment last week, and I found out that when they did my 29-week ultrasound that the baby was breech. I wasn't really expecting to hear that, because I feel like he's pretty low, and I don't know, I felt like he was head down. He was head down at the 3D ultrasound, so it was kind of weird to hear like 2 weeks later he was breech. So I actually have an ultrasound at 35 weeks, which is tomorrow for me, and to find out if he's still breech or not. We also find out his weight, and they try to like guesstimate his birth weight and everything like that. I know with baby being breech, they have different options for you. Of course, you can do a scheduled C-section. Of course, you can have I think it's like called ECV, where they can manually turn the baby. I know there's different options, but I'm trying not to stress about it, because I think he's head down now. Like I said, that ultrasound was done at 29 weeks, and I'll be 35 weeks when I go in. So that's a whole 6 weeks worth of time. So I'm hoping he is head down and we are good in that department. Also, I've been struggling with hip pain, pelvic pain. It's nothing new if you've been watching my updates and watching my vlogs. I've been struggling with this for so long now. It's actually getting a lot worse. That's why I'm on this ball. I've been doing like my hip circles, my hip tilts. I've been leaning on it and everything like that, just to get really comfortable and stretch out my hips and everything. I've also been getting adjusted by the chiropractor. My chiropractor actually left. I don't know if you can hear her, but my chiropractor actually left and went to a new practice, so I'm getting adjusted by a different chiropractor. And I'm so far into my pregnancy, I'm so sad that she left, but that is what we are working with in these last few weeks of being pregnant. I feel like he's gonna come early, like my daughter came at 37 weeks. So it's like really close to time. I could be having this baby within the next 2 weeks. I'm trying to make it to my maternity photo shoot. I'm trying to make it to my baby shower without having a baby, but who knows what's gonna happen. But I'm here to update you and take you along the way. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on these videos, because who knows when baby boy will be here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know a lot of it was COVID talk and the same usual pelvic and hip pain, So that is what I'm going through during 30 to 34 weeks of being pregnant with baby boy. And I'm hoping that these next couple weeks fly by, and I'm hoping my ultrasound goes well tomorrow and I find out some good news, and potentially see if I'm dilated or not will be nice. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Every change